Day everybody, this is FriskyDingo Tactics playing Swordhaven Iron Conspiracy with episode 20. Hope everyone's doing well today, and let us jump straight back in. If you remember from the last episode, we finally reached the village of Grainhold. We went to the inn, and we ended up speaking to the bailiff about the murder case that he has here. So let's just check this journal entry here. So, Headhunter. The bailiff of Grainhold has asked me to find an elusive gang that has gotten awfully close to the village. Maybe I could locate their temporary camp somewhere nearby. Unraveling the truth. This is to do with the murder. Okay, so there's... Alright, so the minstrel has given him the hat of the colleague. Can we get the hat, I wonder? Ferryman's wife. Antique dealer. The farmer and the big footprint. Missing apprentice and the fleet-flying queen. Here, the peculiar knife. I have the stainless knife from Western Trading Company. I remember a fellow in Clanreach in promising to give some useful tips and pointers if I bring it to him. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm going to go all the way back to Clanreach at this current point in time, but I definitely can. And we've completed 2. A little tip. Okay, and a task for Svano, the leader of the camp. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the map. We are currently here. So we spoke to the fellow Oscar over here. We actually haven't spoken to the prisoners, who I believe are here. So let's go speak to them first. But first, let's have a look in this big bag because it's green. I'll take that. Oh, Risky D, you're overburdened already. Okay, why are you overburdened already? Oh, I've got 2, sell one of them. Do you know what? Logs can go on the ground. Maybe that'll do it. Yep.
It's locked.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to talk to them. Okay. This fellow clearly dressed to impress the local dirt. This fellow has clearly dressed to impress the local dirt farmers. Now his garb looks a tad dapper, and his mien much more dire. I saw you talking to the bailiff. Please, mate, tell me there's still hope. There's always hope, fear not. By wards, if you manage to save my neck, I swear I'll find a way to repay you. Well, that depends. Are you the killer? No. People are saying, oh no one saw you the whole day that it happened. Well, of course bloody not. I was drinking the night before with that worm Strazd, of all people, then slept it off in my room. And don't get me started about that hat thing. Strazd must have painted it with something. He clenched his fists. I should have guessed that pompous rapscallion still hated me. Why does he hate you? The long story short, because I'm better than he is. Better at music, better at selecting instruments, better at negotiating contracts. Cert, I'm even better with the ladies, if you know what I mean. What do you know about the murder victim? Never heard of him before. Didn't have a problem with him. Nothing. And what about the other prisoner? He points at the natives. First time I've ever seen him, he whispers. To be frank, the man's a total bore. He just sits there without saying a word. Can't even have a regular conversation. Got it, we'll be seeing you. The troubadour's gaze follows you hopefully. Keldarian meets your eye but says nothing. You seem rather composed for a murderer. I have blood on my hands, but I didn't kill that boy. Alright, do you have any idea who did it? Probably some violent drifter, he shrugs, or anyone who takes pleasure in killing. Did you know the victim? No. What were you doing in the village then? Minding my own business. You're not exactly helping your case here. I'm a trapper. Spider oil, coloured feathers, warm furs. Greenholder's a good place to rest before my trek back to the mountains. What can you tell me about him? Pointing at the troubadour. He likes the sound of his own voice a bit much. The musician rolls his eyes. Not once does Kedarin look in his direction. Whines and whines like a mosquito. Okay. Nod and take your leave. Okay. Let's go over here. And you know what? I think I'll have a spare shovel. And a hatchet. Fiona.
Easy. Speak your mind.
What can we offload? What is actually weighing me down so much? Probably my big pile of gold. Oh, now Fiona's. Alright. Let us go back to the inn. And what we'll do at the inn, we will offload a load of stuff. We'll sell some to the innkeeper. I'm not going to grass on the innkeeper just yet, if at all, but maybe I'm keeping too much stuff, but you know, who knows. Let's go. Can I see your wares? Feel like a bite to eat and maybe a bit to wash it down. Okay, let's add a sale. Sell that. Oh, I've got a whole bow. Alright, I'm definitely keeping that, like, absolutely keeping that. I gotta stop doing that, guys. Keep that helmet. I'll keep these for now until maybe I get more. Fiona is fine. I can put that in the chest. is going on here? So I am selling. I'm selling these. Oh, does she maybe not have the money? She doesn't have the money. Okay, that's a bit of a shame. What do you know about Fireman's murder? Oh, 'twas a ghastly thing. The lad was butchered like a winter hog, and for what? The devilish dastard, what done this deed deserves to be hanged upside down and left to the crows. Okay, got it. Is that it? I don't haggle enough. Okay.
Fine, I'll do it.
Okay, so what do we do? Can go in there. For the time being, I'm going to have a lot of loot. But I'm doing it right for money, so I'll clear it out eventually. Fiona. I can put these here because I'm keeping an extra kind of set of kit for if I get another companion. Okay, before I leave this area, I will go through and probably try to go to the crafting station, and I'll bring all those crafting things back on, and I'll see what I can actually craft. Can I craft, you know, any armor or whatnot? I think that is pretty light. 55 out of 60, 23 out of 40. Okay, so what is weighing me down? I can go. Something in here is probably weighing an absolute, you know, an absolute bomb. 28. Yeah, everything seems 2.2, 4, 55 out of 61. Yeah. Ingredient. Log iron. 53. Whetstone can go there. Don't believe I need to keep that on me. It's getting a bit better, to be fair. Fly honey mead. Okay. Oh.
Already lugging too much.
Oh my god. I can't believe I just stunned that, guys. Ingredients. Do you know what? All of these can go over. The rundlet. Mm-hmm. It's getting a bit better, to be fair. Okay. Alright. To not take all. Okay, let's talk to Straz, the minstrel. The minstrel glances up from his sheet music. Is there something you need? What do you know about Fireman's murder? I loathe speaking of such gruesome matters, but I'm sure the village commoners will appreciate that I do indeed have a song about recent events in the works. I mean, who'd have guessed that the law would so swiftly apprehend the slayer of that ill-starred innocent Lyman? Or was it help me out here, Kaiman? I simply must turn this into a ballad. Concentrate on what happened on the day of the murder. He takes out his lyre. Life oft imitates art, and on that fateful eve it evoked my famous ballad, Strahd's Possession. The stars were dim, and murder was afoot. He touches the strings, and they sing to his words. I fell asleep at dawn, lulled into slumber by thoughts of performing in Swordhaven. It wasn't till evenfall that I awoke. Keep listening. And what did I see? Why, the murderer himself, that hateful spoony-barred Ares, sleeping nearby, his mockery of a hat stained a most vivid red. The very colour of blood, the life-bearing humour that only the most uncouth of men desire to spill. Why were you sleeping during the day? I must confess the murderer and I had been drinking the night before, a time-honoured pastime among bards. And you two were also sharing a room. Well, we're both musicians. When we found ourselves visiting the same town, we decided, in spite of any minor personal differences, to save a little money by splitting the rent. When did you wake up? By early evenfall. I was sleeping during the day, you see. Why? Oh no. I see. As already mentioned, the vile Erez was snoring, his bloodied hat perched atop his crown. I inquired about around the inn, and quickly discovered that a foul murder had been committed on that very day. It took me a couple of hours to muster enough courage to lift the hat from the still sleeping beast's head and rush to see the bailiff. He shrugged, and that's the whole story. Now, if you excuse me, I have an epic to compose. Shrug and take your leave. He performs an elaborate parting bow.
Okay.
Okay, let's see if Zelka says anything. What do you know of Fireman's murder? I wasn't in Grainhold when it happened. Hick, in any event, I'd leave the investigation to the bailiff and his men. Got it, I have to be going now. Stop by later. And Molstarm, Vimanfen? The inn patron greets you with a polite smile. You're back again. It is a pleasure, of course. What do you know about Fireman's murder? I was here when this tragedy happened, and I know that 2 people were jailed for it. One of them lived in this very inn, but that is all I can tell you. Say, since you're a dye merchant, perhaps you could tell the difference between red paint and blood. I would hope so. I'd be a pretty shoddy dye merchant otherwise, wouldn't I, he thinks. If you want the most eye-popping blood red, there is a specific kind of dye. For example, cochineal. It does not come from a plant, lichen, nut or bark, but from a bug that lives in the southern isles. The locals dump them in the big vats. Then they crush them, and what comes out? Ah, but I cannot show you. I lost my very last tube of this pigment on the road, perhaps in this very hamlet, when I unloaded my goods. Ah. Do you remember how or where you lost it? I'm afraid not, but I'm certain I had it when I arrived at the village. A loss like that must have cost you a fortune. Oh no, there was only a little smidgen of the stuff left on the bottom. I saved it for demonstration purposes. I see. Thanks for the info. You've been most helpful. Really? Well, I'm glad to hear that. Okay. The plot thickens. Strauss, the musician glanced over his sheet music. Is there something you need? I just remembered an interesting coincidence. A dye merchant who happens to be staying at this inn told me he'd lost a bright red pigment. So red, in fact, one might even mistake it for blood. Oh, the minstrel turns pale. Well, him losing such a thing is of course unfortunate. I sure am curious who might have taken it. I'm sorry, but where are you going with this? You didn't by chance find it yourself, did you, Strazd? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I did find it, in the dust by the roadside, and it's mine by finder's rights. No problem, just give me the dye and I'll return it to the merchant. I'm sure he'll compensate you for the find. Or, interesting, what worries me is what you used it for. Oh, nothing in particular. Perhaps I shall use it to paint my lyre. Do you mind showing me the dye then? Well, I don't have it anymore, alright? All used up. Used on what? He glances around the room. I seem to have forgotten. You put it on the hat. You put the paint on the hat. Fee on you. Yes, alright. Ares is innocent. Humph. I was trying to do you all a few favour, by the way. That man's music is almost bad enough to kill. A few more months of his malfeasance and whole crowds would fall dead from his cacophony. You disgust me. To doom a man over something so trivial, or you falsify evidence to have your rival hanged. Aye, his eyes rolled to the floor. Yes, there was bad blood between me and Ares. I wasn't thinking straight, but when the deed was done, I was too ashamed to tell the truth. Do you know who really killed Fireman? No, honest to dragon this time. Right, you're coming with me. Don't you understand? Now the bailiff will hang me instead. He raises his hands and starts chanting. Something, a spell perhaps. Let me go, I say with dread. If you refuse, I'll haunt thy head. As shadows loom, a curse I'll throw. So heed my words and let me go. Cup the baffle gab. Surely you don't think I'm that stupid. Oh. Yikes, what's that over there? You quickly turn to see that what he's pointing at so excitedly. Then the treacherous minstrel produces a lit firecracker. Catch. Blinded by the flash, you rub furiously at your eyes with one fist while throwing punches in the air with the other. Meanwhile, Strazd escapes. That bloody songster, just wait till I get my hands on you. Gah. When you finally open your eyes, the malicious musician is long gone, but you did gain valuable new information for the bailiff. Okay. So... Alright. Most armed Manfred, the friendly foreigner, leans forward. Yes, what is it, my friend? I know who stole your cochineal. It was the minstrel who was also staying at this inn. Unfortunately, he lit out before I could grab him. That wily rascal. I saw him running from the inn after that terrible ruckus. He shakes his head. And here I took him for an honest man. I'm glad I had so little of the stuff left. He didn't get much of anything, after all. Right. Well, that's the story. Let this be a lesson to me. Okay. Let's have a quick... Ooh, yes. Very nice. Alright. Let's not go back to the... Do you know what? Is there anything in the... Aha. Oh. Sorry, I thought that was something the minstrel had left. Honestly, I wasn't trying to steal.
You good?
Hark, you must rally your party.
You must gather your party before venturing forth. Okay. Let's go this way. What did Oscar say? We just starts over with low grumble. I want to ask you some questions. I ain't answering kind of. Why didn't you give it a whirl of someone else? Because he did. Do you know what? Let's speak to the rest of the villagers. Oh, herbs. And a picnic basket. And a woman to speak to. Okay, a melange of aromas, parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme. Pokes you in the nose as you approach the peasant woman. Hail, newcomer. May I interest you in my high-quality remedies and poultices? Where can one learn the herbalist's art? Experience is the best teacher. My mother, a sorceress, taught me to identify different herbs. Your best bet would be to find someone who does it for a living. She thinks, someone like me. The stars have spoken. I can teach you some of what I know, but not for free, I'm afraid. No, a toll must be paid. 36 dinars. What say you, O potential apprentice of mine? Yeah, go on then. Thank you. Please take a seat and open your mind for learning. Success! The art of harvesting and preparing herbs is more complicated than you thought. You missed some of the details, but still picked up a few useful tips, like how to distinguish poisonous wolfberries from edible snapper drupalets. 3 points in medicine. Huh, I never knew that. What do you know of Fireman's murder? You don't have to believe, but the birds told me he wasn't killed by a man at all, but by, I don't know, something else entirely. Okay. I'll ask you a few questions. If you wish to have your questions answered, look no further than the wisdom of Zemya, Mother Nature, which surrounds you on all sides. While words can be pretty, true knowledge comes from observation and experience, nestling. Alright. Well, what do you got for sale? Yeah, nothing I'm in the mood, nothing I'm in the market for right now. Okay. And take out the odd statuette. What can you tell me about this thing? What tales of eons past could this little knick-knack tell? If it only had a mouth, she sighs dreamily and looks up at you. What? That's all I can tell you. I sense zero magic in this thing, in case you were wondering. Okay, I'll follow my advice and go exploring. Thank you. Okay, gentlemen. Or ladies and gentlemen, I should say. That is Weak Potion of Innovation. Thank you very much. Let's leave that right here. And I'll see you again on the next episode. I'll do a quick save, as I have had another glitch where it kind of game crashes. Thank you very much, everyone. This is FriskyDingo Tactics, playing Swordhaven Iron Conspiracy. Please give a like and subscribe. It'll really help me grow my channel. And I'll see you next episode. Bye.